Oh, it has been a very, very long time. Weeks. And as soon as I hit record, the dog decides to start licking my arm. What do you want, girl? Silly girl. I know. Go on. Stop licking me. Um, there's been a lot of things change, a lot of things happen. Sure, I guess. I don't know what this is. I apologize. Ugh. I haven't even looked at this. I have been playing BDO in the background, but there's been a lot of things that have happened. So, wife changed jobs. Today's the first day. She's been off for a little bit. So we've been dealing with that. I've been putting in extra hours trying to get us through until she picks that back up so that I can get back to doing what I need to be doing. I am picking up hours working several different places. Just basic farm freelance stuff to make extra money, and I'm also pushing for my own game development that I hinted at a while back. I'm trying to do that, but I keep getting interrupted. We got a lot of farm stuff going on, and so it's just slow going. But in terms of BDO and games in general, Throne and Liberty is out. Quit that game. Haven't logged in going on 2 weeks. It's been 10, 11 days. They gutted healers, and playing a tank's just not fun. So I've been done with that. I haven't really played much of anything. I've been doing the bare minimum on BDO. I've been fishing. I've actually been fishing here in Heidel because I was doing the seal quest for fishing for the yellow fish. And you can't summon Black Spirit on the boat. So being out at Hackaven's kind of a pain, but I've exchanged everything, and now all I got left is just gold bars. So that'll help. What else? Oh, I took a screenshot of this when I had BDO set up on the backup PC, which I'll talk about in a minute. I was dumping mounts and doing a little bit of horse training, and a tier 8 gave me the last Phalite. So we have the Lumiloft lamp, and we're going to combine that now. Yay, the Lumiloft lamp. Cool. Awesome.
I have a container. If you have this, you can use the storage in your house.
I guess I don't know why they gave us all the 3. I guess I should have read that mail before just collecting it. But whatever. I have those now. Cool. I don't really think it matters. I'll deal with those later. And I'll deal with this later. Backup PC. Windows 10 support is going away on October 14th. So if you want to keep using Windows 10, you need to buy the extended, or just not worry about it, I guess. Or try and upgrade to Windows 11. My backup PC is too old. I bought all the parts to rebuild it. I just haven't done it yet. I wanted to do it on camera and record it, so that's why I hadn't done it yet. I have parts sitting over there, actually. Bought the M2 hard drive a few days ago. So I want to do that, and then I want to do something different with the parts that are currently in my backup PC. I'm basically taking it apart and making 2 PCs out of 1, and some parts. And then I'm going to be offloading all my extra parts that I don't need anymore because Windows 10 support's out, so it's going to be Linux on everything. I'm not paying for Windows 11, and anything below 8th gen Intel. There's a few 7th gen Intel CPUs that support TPM2, and then Ryzen 2nd gen. But for the most part, it's Intel 8th gen and Ryzen 2nd gen and above for Windows 11. Anything below that, it's going to be obsoleted. And they're doing it to push sales of new stuff. And I'm against it, but we're going to run Linux on any of my other stuff. I have to have Windows 11 for like a bunch of these things. BDO doesn't work well on Linux. I think you can get it mostly functioning, but it's not good. And if you were through Steam, it might work, but my account is not through Steam. It is through the actual BDO client. So I'm having issues with that. So I have to have Windows 11 on main and backup. That's all the news that I have and where I've been. I'm going to keep talking, but I wanted to do some Manos enhancing today. I got quite a bit of crap. I still got 100 bill in the warehouse. And we left off last time. The Sovereign, I didn't get the pen. That's on my list. I have to do the other crystals, I have to do my skill add-ons, and I have to get reforged stones. Those are the three main things I have to do before I go back to Sovereign enhancing. And then Sovereign sub-weapon needs to go to pen, and then I need to get all my Slumbering Origin armor to Tet before I push anything past pen, Karazad, or Sovereign. So that is how that's going to go. Pre-own I haven't even messed with because it's just been a mess. But we're going to raw tap Manos Sailor's Clothes because my next real thing after getting a Lumiloft lamp, the only thing I don't have is, in terms of mounts, I don't have the tier 9 like Voltarion or whatever that is from bosses and PvP or whatever. That tier 9 horse, and I don't have all the Carrick stuff. So Pen Sailor's Clothes would be nice. What I'm going to plan on doing is raw tapping this to pen, and if I hit pity, if we pity a pen, then I will use the pity click because they all share chances, all the Manos clothes, to enhance one of my other, probably my Craftsman clothes, to pen. So if we pity out, which is going to be 35 attempts, if we end up doing that, then we'll just, as we get there, we'll do it. Right now I've got some materials to burn, so that's what we'll do. And yeah. Now, in terms of, are you full? Yeah, you're full. In terms of games, I've been looking at Guild Wars 2 pretty heavy to replace as like my main like personal game. Video, I kind of make progress so that I can record it. I can't make up my mind. Where do I want to put the stacks? Alright. So, we are going to skip enhance to try. And I wonder if anything has changed or if this has still been... Nope. Manos hasn't changed. It's still as bad as it ever was. Sometimes it just feels like home, you know? Yeah, I've been looking at Guild Wars 2. They have an expansion coming out again. I have owned the first 3 expansions. I've played the main base game, and I played through part of the first expansion. So I'm years behind in terms of content on that game, and the combat is a little iffy for me. Pity duo. Cool, try. We're gonna slow roll Tet, because that's what we do. And then maybe we'll get a few pen attempts out of this. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Probably not. Probably not. Most of Manos enhancing is a repair simulator, you know, that's how it goes. But yes, in terms of Guild Wars 2, I am years behind. I own Heart of Thorns, Path of Fire, I think is what it's called, and End of Dragons. I own those for 3. The next 2, I don't. And then the new one coming out, I don't. But if I can get into the game and ignore the slower combat, right back to the repair station. I'm getting the hang of this. Maybe we should just stand by this lady. Yeah. But if I can get into the slower combat of Guild Wars 2 and just kind of the gameplay loop, I'm looking for something that doesn't have a bunch of vertical progression. The fear of missing out on Throne of Liberty really burnt me out on MMORPGs. That's why I disappeared and kind of just stopped playing everything. The predatory fear of missing out and this heavy RNG style gameplay that Korean developers think everyone loves or seems to love to make, or maybe it's just because it's the easiest to monetize. I don't know, but that stuff's burnt me out. Like this here, just kind of burnt out on it. Before jumping on and recording this, hitting record, I was watching Blue Squadron and Biceptimus both. Money waster simulator, and you know the whole sovereign enhancing that Septimus did from like a week or so ago. The actual rates on that failing so many 20% chances so many times in a row. It's just disheartening. Well, that was laggy. All right, cool. We only got to fail 12 more times till we're guaranteed a pen attempt. And repair. So the reason I am... Oh, no. The reason I'm pity stacking on Manos' Sailor's Clothes is because the one... I don't really need them currently. I don't want to raw enhance, and we may not even pity stack because we haven't even managed to get a Tet yet, but no try. But at least if I fail like this, I mean, it cost me like 10 billion. I had... Well, I take it back. It cost me 13 billion for the materials today. To be fully transparent, I had 112 billion in warehouse. I spent 13 of it and bought stones and memory fragments. And I had 182 stones. So I ended up buying like half the stones that I got, but just the increase in value of going from Pride to Tet will probably help offset that cost, but for an enhancing session, 10-12 billion is really not much at all, especially with like Sovereign and Pre-owned now that all that stuff is out. It's a very small cost. Alright. Right before pity. 9 out of 10 fails. Let's succeed. Alright. We get 1 pen attempt today, and that's probably it. I would probably, if you're seriously going for this, I might consider using crons. It's 1650, but that's okay. We're going to raw tap. Let's do a pen. Let's slow roll another Tet. So 1 out of 35 so far. And back to failing. Another Tet slow roll. What are we at? Oh, we got plenty of durability. And back to the pry hole, as I like to call it. If you can make it, if you can manage to get from pry to try The TED attempts aren't that bad. I noticed that, like, pitting Tet didn't seem too bad, and then, when I did the Fisher's Close, we did pity it, but that was the only real pen attempts that I've done on Manos. Now I say that, and then watch, it'll make me pity Ted. Come on, break through. Nope. Not happening.
Hello, this is Heidel Ferry.
So, not to make this video all about, well, basically it's me enhancing in the background and kind of semi-actively enhancing, so I am playing right now and I am enhancing, but I'm talking about other stuff. But not to make this about a different game or whatever, but I'm looking for something that's more relaxed, that I don't have to, like, constantly be worried about forward upgrades. I can just chill and play and not have to deal with all this RNG all the time. And, you know, sometimes at the end of the day, you just kind of want to do a couple things, chill. And I had considered going back to, like, League of Legends or you know, session-based games like Fortnite, Battlegrounds, that kind of stuff. But some of that's not how. There we go. We hit another try at like 8 or 9 out of 10. It's crazy. Oh, the throat is scratchy. It's been a long time since I recorded. Too long. I think that MMORPGs are not very good content games unless you're a, like, maybe for streams. So, like, BDO on Twitch, that's fine. But, like, spin-off videos like this, they don't do well. They don't garner a huge following or huge amounts of views. They just don't. Especially the more relaxed, laid back, not a huge amount. Like, you can cut a bunch of clips together and make a montage, you know. Slap some music on it, and man, those will probably do alright. But this long form enhancing based videos, without cutting out all the repairs and all that stuff, they just don't do very well.
Are you traveling along the river?
So I think a pivot is in order. There we go. We got a TET attempt. We've hit 1 TET. 2 TETs this time. I don't have enough cron stones, or I would do a cron attempt on this. Well, here we go. Attempt number 2. Pen Sailor's Clothes. Yeah, that was too fast. And let's roll another one. I'm grabbing a water. Right back down into the bad part. It's pen or pry every time. Pen or pry, and we don't cry about it. So, I haven't even answered anybody's comments on the last couple of videos. I've just been away. I record, upload, dump it, and then running right back away again. I don't even sit at the PC long enough to be answering comments and stuff, but I have read a bunch of them. And as far as, like, one question I saw asking me if I'm going for in-game, probably not. I considered it, but with seeing everyone's RNG rates and being time gated, you know, I just got free of the time gating from Throne and Liberty, and now BDO is doing it with the armor stones. So if you don't like hit, if you can't farm the weekly stones right off, and you're gonna be behind because you're never gonna be able to get enough stones. Reply to the wife. Alright, another fail. That was an easy try. Let's get an easy tet, please. Give us another pen attempt. Nope. 4 to 5 pen attempts in a video is what I was aiming for. And I would be happy with. We've hit 2. We've gotten two tets. So realistically, I would like 4 or 5, and as I can do these, you know, that'll be like 5, 6, 7 videos, somewhere around there in a session. If I get 5 pen attempts per video, that would be nice. It doesn't always happen that way though. I think there were some where we only got 2 or 3 with the Fisher's Glows. And I'm pretty sure that I even croned a couple of attempts too.
More romantic than a river or sea travel. Wouldn't you agree? Come find me anytime you
I don't know if the mic picks up my phone going off, but man, I get spammed. Immediately pity and then downgrade so that we can immediately pity again.
A rowboat is much more
There's no way that the programmers can think that this is normal, that 25% fails that many times in a row. Dude, I wish I could hit the lottery that on those, like, those chances are lower.
You can get to Calpheon following up the river.
Failing 25% 8 times in a row isn't that like down there with like winning the lottery in terms of like RNG chances or procs or whatever? I don't know what I'm saying. It's one of those days. All right, here we go. TED attempt number 5 on this one. Cool. Maybe we'll hit pen. Attempt number 3 on pen Manos close. Sailor's close. Oh, it's slow rolling. It's going. It's going. No, it failed. Can we go back up to 6% isn't that bad. I mean, I've hit 6% on a lot of things. 6% on Manos. Let's make that. It's closer to like 0.6%. Oh, we're getting lucky. Attempt number 4. See, now it's a good video. We got the 4 attempts. One more and it's going to be golden. That was a quick fail. I gotta lie, it's a quick fail. And we're over. We're over our success chain. We used up our successes. Fun stuff. Happy, happy, fun stuff. That's what they say, right?
Are you traveling along the river?
No, BDO is I've got a lot of knowledge on BDO, but it has fallen off. I'll be honest, it has fallen off recently. Like, I don't know the game like I used to. I used to be able to manipulate systems and make progress.
Nothing more romantic than a river or sea.
And I had the drive to make progress. The game was bustling back then, but it's not so much anymore. And I've seen so many Doom posts, you know,
Come find me
in the past
anytime you need
year.
something.
Probably rightfully so. But I'm just... The spell kind of gets broken, you know? And then you don't have that drive anymore. Even creating content for it, you just don't have that drive anymore. And I have more expertise in other areas, and I think that I was afraid for a long time to post real life videos and other things that I was interested in, but you know, I always made the channel not just back-to-back tries, not just to play BDO, but now we get a 5th attempt. This is good. This is going better than expected. Attempt number 5, Pin Manos Sailors. Oh, you just had to let me down, didn't you? Yep, back to Pry. We're going to Pry. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. Yep, back to Pry. But I was afraid of that. You know, the internet's a harsh place, and say one wrong thing and it's there forever, or get judged. You know.
You can get to Calpheon following up
But I have a lot of knowledge on stuff that's not game related, and my channel was made originally just to share everything that I found interesting. I know that YouTube channels don't really flow that way anymore. You got to find a niche and post only that, farm engagement, get the views and the, you know, all this stuff, and I never was interested in that. I was I just kind of figured that
This is Heidel Ferry.
enough success would come if I just posted what made me happy, and I got away from that. I started just diving down the video hole, chasing views, and
Traveling along the river.
that dropped the League of Legends off, and then I quit playing that entirely because that game became very toxic. And then our dog passed, you know, last year, almost exactly a year ago.
In the river or sea travel. Wouldn't you agree?
We had to put her down because she was sick, and the whole farm video thing, like the last farm video I made, was with her in it before. And they don't garner huge followings because you guys subscribed for BDO content. Like, rightfully so, I understand. But I'm looking to probably maybe shift away a bit. The passion's just not there, and when the passion's not there, the videos aren't good. I still like enhancing. Obviously, it's just resource burning, and I understand that, but it's all made up currency and all virtual made up items anyway. You know, I'm not a 100% game dev by any means, but I have a comp sci degree, and so in programming, and so I understand how all that stuff works. You know, how it's made. And there goes me rambling.
You can get to Calpheon following up the river.
You know, and at the end of the day, it's just pixels on a screen, right? Like, I mean, the servers can shut down, and all this stuff, these years that we've worked for, just goes away, you know. Had that happen in Forsaken World, that was hosted by Perfect World International. Or Perfect World Entertainment, alongside Perfect World International. But, played that, you know, everything on there, just poof, gone,
This is
right?
Heidel Ferry.
And it's a weird thing, putting a bunch of hours in for something that could just turn off and be donezo. So I find myself drifting further and further from the digital world. I still want to develop my own game, but not MMORPG by any means, because I kind of align myself with you buy it, you own it, you know. This whole live service thing where you're constantly having to be nickel and dimed, or the fact that it can be taken away after you've spent money, that doesn't appeal to me at all. But in terms of these MMORPGs, I've just kind of been drifting
In the river or sea travel.
further and further from them. And I noticed this whenever I was more apt to set up fishing and go all the way down the BDO fishing hole, you know.
Come find me
Then
anytime
just-
you need something.
Well, I could be fishing, I could be catching migaloos, and anything else I do in the game just taking me away from fishing. You know, it's And when I noticed that happening, hey, we're getting a 6th attempt. Attempt number 6, Manos, sailor's clothes, on pen. Go, 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 go! Oh, it lingered so long. I thought it was going for sure. But when I noticed that I was more apt to fish in the game and go AFK than actually sit here and play and grind, I was like, oh no, it's over. We're going to lose the channel. We're going to lose all the content. I can't do it. I'm not passionate about it. I'm not good at faking it. So I just have dwindled away. But there are lots of things that I'm passionate about. If you like my personality, I will be glad to post them. And I know that a lot of you that comment and talk to me regularly have said that you're here for that. Whatever I put up, that you'll be here. And I appreciate you all. It's just the rest of you that I worry about. But at the end of the day, stop lagging. What's it really matter anyway, right? Like, not everyone likes the same thing. You don't have to be here. And as long as you are here, I'm appreciative. Now, Mouse, me and you are going to have issues if you keep this up. But, I don't expect... How about that? I don't expect it by any means. But, if you're here, and that's cool. But we've got a whole little farm that I think I've been considering opening up and sharing with, well, you all, the little world that I have around me. You know, I don't have a very far reach, but dang it! Why? Why can't you just succeed? And opening up your home to a bunch of, well, essentially you guys are strangers. I've never seen you. You've seen me and listened to me, but I've never heard you, and I've never seen you. So essentially you are strangers. We don't know each other on a personal level by any means. And, you know, I can turn the camera on and I can show what I want to show and hide everything else. You know, so you don't 100% know me on a personal level either, but opening up your life and your home to anyone is very personal, and it's a whole thing, you know. So there's a lot of weight that goes into that decision. So that's where I've been. I've been wanting to put out stuff. But I've been wanting to put out stuff that's not BDO, but there's that looming feeling of I'm opening my home up to people. And so it's slow. I'll get there, and I'll eventually take my camera with me. Dang it! Give me the tet. Try. Wait, we're chanting. Duo. Fail. I think I'm clicking too fast because it keeps doing random lag spikes. Or maybe just Ryzen's not a happy time on BDO. I mean, this PC by no means is by no means the best of the best anymore, but it should not have an issue with BDO at all. Even on, like, ultimate settings, recording, it should not. It's got a Ryzen 9 5950X in it. And I know that's a couple of generations back, but, I mean, I built it in 3 years ago. And it has 128 gigabytes of RAM. It's maxed out. There's no getting around that. And BDO is installed on an M2 drive. The graphics card could be better, but they're so dang expensive. There's no point in upgrading. But it's the 3080 12 gigabyte edition.
find me
So
anytime.
there's by no means, it's basically a 3080 Ti at that point. It's a little bit slower, but it has just as much VRAM. There's no reason that this should ever be lagging.
A rowboat is much more stable than a raft.
But it still hangs and stutters. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. And yes, I built this monstrous memory packing computer because I want to be able to run
Get to Calpheon following up the river.
lots of stuff in memory. Virtual stuff. He said it's my development PC, as well as my gaming PC. And I have my backup PC that's going to be... We're going to run out of memory fragments is what's going to happen. Well, I know I'm getting text messages. I'm going to have to answer this. I apologize, guys.
Are you traveling
I will load this and then cut so that when I pick it back up, it'll be right where we left off. And we're back. Did you see that hang on that animation? That was the server saying, well, they succeeded once. Gotta let it go.
There is nothing more romantic than a river or sea travel.
Well, at least we'll have one try pity, right? We got like, what, one more fail, I think it said. I think it was like almost there. 8 out of 10.
Come find me anytime you need.
We'll get there. I'm just happy that we got as many pen attempts as we did. Of course you would. On both of them. One before pity on both of them. I deserve a tet now for that. Awful. You owe me, Black Spirit.
A rowboat is much more stable than a raft.
Now my backup PC is older as well, but it's newer than the one. It's new enough to get Windows 11. It's going to be running a Ryzen 7 5800X, which is my wife's old chip. Before I swapped hers out. We're probably going to stick the GTX 980 Ti in it from my old PC. That's an old one, but that's still a strong card. It's just old, and it's the best one that I have laying around. And I don't need anything heavy by any means in the backup computer. I just use it for setting video up on whenever I am doing something on the main PC and I don't want video running in the background.
Are you traveling along the river?
Spam, spam, spam. Okay. Finish this up real quick and call it a day. And yeah, the GTX 980, it'll have 32 gigs of DDR4 and it'll have the Ryzen 7. So it's an okay backup machine. Oh, give me the try. I want one more TED attempt out of this. Yep. We about done though.
There's nothing
You know what I'm
more
gonna do?
romantic
I'm
than
gonna
a
use
river or
these.
sea travel. Wouldn't you agree? Come find me anytime.
Because I can. But offloading old tech, it's just a time. Microsoft is forcibly kicking out old tech. Right back to Pry. Right back to Pry. Right back to Pry. We might get another TED attempt out of this.
You can get to Calpheon following up
I think we have one more, and then Pity. It's crazy that you can fail so many. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fails in a row so far.
Hello?
That's nutso, dude. But I would realistically like the videos on here to shift to things that I'm more interested in. I've been dreading it because of the drop off. I know that whenever I do that, there's going to be unsubs and just view droppage in general. So I've kind of let it lie dormant. Hey, what do you know? Easy one. What do they say? Easy one tap. That's alright. We'll go back down to duo. And immediately back down to prime. And we're out of stones, basically. I'll repair it, and we'll end it off where we started.
Wouldn't you agree?
With no materials and prize sailors. But we had a good 5-6 attempts. Really wasn't bad. What do... Get up there where you belong. What? How many does this give? I don't need this outfit. I want to know how many cron stones it gives. If I can get close to 16... I hate this blacksmith. I absolutely hate him. I hate him so much.
I have no time.
Well, it was nice seeing you guys for a little bit. A little bit longer of a video. At least we got the Lumaloft lamp. And what is this trunk? What is this? Don't care about either one of those. What is that? Grand Prix, what is this? Old Moon Fortune scroll box. We really don't give a crap about that. Let's take you... Let's check you in. Okay. I apologize. I'm an idiot. I forgot my other horse down here. Hey, Kronk. Kronk's level 43. This is what his stats ended up being. Mediocre at best. But he does turn into, Have you ever seen a Doom horse fly? Because that's what just happened. We're gonna put this lamp on this thing, and... 6, and... You! There you go. It's on there. It's a nice little shiny thing. I don't know if you can turn it on or off. It's kind of annoying, actually. What does this do? Mystical blessings of the Tooth Fairies. Oh, right. It sustains the power. So you don't run out of power down here as fast. Well... Need to upgrade these to 10, but you can't cron them the last I checked, so 7 is where they start to get kind of difficult, so I left them. And that is that. That concludes the journey of the Lumaloft lamp. Now, in terms of what is next, mount-wise, it's Carrick stuff, which is why I was pushing the sailor's clothes.
I don't mind what others say.
And... Hey, look. Where are you at? You come out. What are you gonna give me? Oh, yeah, more junk. Cool. Yay. Breeding market. Bye-bye. Imperial horse delivery. See ya. Should have put my, mastery clothes on for that, but I really don't care. I'm done with the mount stuff. If we do anything, it will 100% be Carrick related. And then I'm just slowly pushing gear as I get free stuff. I'm not grinding by any means. I'm not doing anything else. And we're slowly pushing the Manos clothes up to pen. I've got everything else at pen that's important. I need the flask to go up, but as we get cron stones, we'll do that. And I also need these 3 tools to go up: the hoe, the fluid collector, and the tanning knife. But we'll get those as we got crons. Finish those off, those 4 items, and then life skill will be at the exact same place as the active combat gear. Basically pushing from Tet to Pen on all the Manos clothes, and then pushing Prions up from Tri to Deck as we get Cron Stones. But we've quickly made it to a place where raw tapping is no longer a thing. The last thing that I can raw tap really realistically are the Adania armors from base to pry, and then which, you know, can't really do crons anyway, and then these Manos clothes is the last thing that I can raw tap, and I hate using crons, so it's just that's why we did that today. But it was a good attempt, it was a good run. I was gonna try and cron tap one of these to Pen, but the blacksmith is gone as always, so we just won't. I'll put the fishing clothes back on, and 2275 fishing mastery. Yay, we make progress so that we can AFK faster. But that is how it goes.
If you have a lot of stuff, leave it with
And
me.
you go here, and you go here, and you go in the warehouse. And I've still got a Prime Manos Gatherer backup that I can smack on too, so. But this is where we're at, and probably going back to Hackaven and then leaving it there. So that's all I got. As soon as I can work up the courage to record a real life video, I'll set up the camera and rebuild my PC on camera, and then try and edit it down as soon as I get time to do that and upload it. If anyone's interested in that, you can check it out when it goes up. If you're not, I understand. PC building isn't too exciting. It's just a necessity. When you work in the digital space, you gotta have a machine to do so. And what else? Farm stuff. I'm gonna be in and out, so if I decide to record some of that, you'll see it. If you watch it, I appreciate it. If you don't, I understand. Next year, we're gonna do a lot with our garden beds and market gardening and stuff, so that'll be fun. I've skipped it this year, so there wasn't anything to do with it. And then we have all of our cute little goats. I should probably film them. They're pretty cute. They'll be we'll be breeding them soon. They should be having babies in the springtime, so that'll be a good thing. I need a compass. I need a compass. 2, 3. That is one thing that I never got done on here that I wanted, was the actual compass. Hey, cool, they added a little scroll thing on the side. I wanted the permanent compass so I didn't have to worry about buying them. But that didn't happen, and I don't know if it will now, ever. But transitioning over to real life content is a painful, slow process, and mostly for me. But we'll get there, and it's what I want, so it's what I'm going to work towards. If it doesn't happen this year, then maybe next year, I don't know. But I am definitely pushing probably for Guild Wars 2. I have the urge to play, I just don't know what I'm doing, so I have to figure that out, and I also have to find time to do it. Time is very limited now, and this is probably the longest video game session that I've done in... Well, it is the longest video game session I've done in like weeks. Sitting here playing for an hour, but I will, I'll see you guys on the other side. I hope you enjoyed the news. I hope it answered questions. I hope it caught you up. I hope you enjoyed the fails. That's always a thing. And then we'll go from there. I'll look to hear from you. I'll try to respond to comments when I can. And we'll get there. I'll eventually figure out what I'm doing. So I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you in the next time, as always.